for the 2020 AP exams. Today you will have an opportunity to practice for the 2020 AP Biology exam. You will complete and submit 2 questions that are representative of the tasks you will see on this year's exam within the time you will be allotted on the actual exam. Please note that while these questions are designed to be similar in structure and format to what you will see on this year's AP Biology exam, they are not intended to be representative of the content that will be assessed. I want to remind you what the 2 questions are going to ask you to do. Question 1 is interpreting and evaluating experimental results. You will have 25 minutes to read the question and respond, and then 5 minutes to upload your response. This is a 10-point question with 10 task verbs and will make up 65% of the total exam score. So you're going to be given a scenario accompanied by data in a table or graph. And then notice that the task verbs are highlighted in red. So you're going to be asked to describe and explain biological concepts, processes, or models, identify experimental design procedures, analyze data, and make and justify predictions. And I want you to know that right now this is presented as an A, B, C, D, and you're actually going to have 10 task verbs. So you're actually going to have parts A through J. So please don't let that throw you, okay? So you're going to see a timer up on the upper left-hand side up here. And before I begin to count it down, I want to just tell you that if you're having trouble seeing this because the font is small, you're going to need to read everything that you see in the prompt and those graphs, and then you see your 10 tasks that you need to complete. And over here, you have a link. So if you want to click that link and look at the question there, you can. And I'd also suggest that if you have a printer, you can quickly print this out. Okay, we're going to talk about some ways that you can get ready after we finish this practice exam. So I want to tell you that you're going to count down. You have 30 minutes on the timer. 25 are for reading the question and to respond. So you can either respond with an open Microsoft Word file or a Google Doc file, or you can handwrite it. And then when we have 5 minutes left, the counter will turn to red and you will need to begin the submit process. I'll come back on after question 1, and then we'll do the same thing again for question 2, okay? Hopefully you have all that information. You've got yourself ready to go ahead and do the question. So I'm going to begin the timer now, and I'll come back and see you in a minute. Well, in 30 minutes. Okay, please notice now that you're down to 5 minutes, so you should be finished with your writing your response, and you should be working on the submission process. Please do not wait until you have less than 5 minutes to submit. And then we'll go over the three options for submitting your response. Today is just a simulation so that you can see how much time you have for the submission. Okay, time is up. I hope you feel good about the question and your response to it. So let's move on to question 2, and this is exactly what will happen on Monday, May 18th when you take the exam. You will have to submit question 1 first before you are able to see question 2. And question 2 is conceptual analysis. It is 15 minutes to read the question and respond to it, plus an additional 5 minutes to upload your response. And don't forget that after we're done with question 2, I will go over the 3 options you have for how to submit your response and give you a link to where you can actually practice that if you haven't already done that. All right, so question 2 is a 6-point question with 6 task verbs. This question will make up 35% of the total exam score. You're going to be given a scenario that describes a biological phenomenon with a disruption to it. You can see your task verbs. You're going to be asked to describe biological concepts or processes, explain biological concepts or processes, or describe characteristics that are represented visually, predict the causes or effects of a change in a biological system, and then justify your predictions. So again, what you're seeing here are parts A, B, C, and D. What you will see when you get to question 2 are the 6 task verbs. So you'll have parts A through G. Is that 6? A through F. So there you go. So 6 task verbs, 6 points. All right, you guys ready for the second question? I'm going to count you down again, and then I'll come back and talk about the next steps. All right, ready? And here you go. Okay, you can see that the timer has turned to red, and that means you have 5 minutes remaining for this task. And it's definitely time to begin the submission process. So 15 minutes was for reading the question, writing your response, and now you should be taking the last 5 minutes to submit and make sure you get confirmation of that submission. All right, you did it. So I hope you feel good about that. Get a realistic feel for the time involved in both question one and question two. I do want to discuss the three options that you have to submit your responses and give you a visual for what that will look like if you haven't already gone to the practice demo. So the first option is copy paste, and you will type your response in Google Doc or Microsoft Word doc or in notes or some other similar application. Please do not include any images and make sure you save your work often. You can already set these documents up with your AP ID and initials at the top of the response. You go ahead and do your response, and then when you get to that last 5 minutes, you are going to copy and paste your response into the space indicated and click submit. That's super important. So this is a visual for what that might look like. Here's the exam that you're looking at. Here's your doc that you are writing your response on, and then you'll be given a window that you can copy and paste, and then the yellow submit button. Okay, so that's the first way. The second way is to attach a document. And again, you can use the Google Doc or the Microsoft Word. And again, you can get that set up ahead of time with your AP ID and your initials at the top of the page. And so this is what it would look like side by side. So here is your AP exam, here's your response. And then you're going to be given an option of uploading attach a text document, which is what you just did, and I'll talk about the photo option in the next one. And then so you would just click attach the text document that you have, and then click submit, and wait for a confirmation that they received it. Okay. And again, since you have two questions, you must create, save, and attach and submit the two separate documents, one for each question, but it will go one at a time, just like we practiced. And then the final option is to attach a photo of a handwritten response. So maybe you want to go old school and you want to write your response. You can have lined or unlined paper, put your AP ID and your initials at the top of each page, and you can have no more than 5 pages, okay? We request that you write clearly with a dark pen or pencil. Remember that your teachers and professors are going to be reading these. And then again, when you have 5 minutes left, take a photo of your response in vertical orientation, not landscape, 1 page per photo. So if your answer has more than 1 page, just 1 page per photo, and you can only submit a maximum of 5 photos per test question. Okay, and make sure you attach all of your pages before you click submit. And you can use either a PNG, a JPG, or a JPEG in order to uh, those are acceptable file formats. Okay, so here's the images. So this is that down here with the pasted text response. This one is the first one I went over. So when you finish and you get ready to submit, you're going to see a box that you can go ahead and copy and paste, and then click submit. If you're going to attach a file, it's going to ask you to browse for file. You find your file, you upload it, and then you click submit. Or if you're going to attach, you do the same thing. You upload your photos, make sure that each page has a separate photo, and click submit. Okay. If you never see your exam is complete, if you never get that message, then you do need to go to cb.org/request makeup to explain what happened and request an e-ticket for the June makeup date. And so it's super important that you understand this how to submit process. And it's also super important that you leave yourself that 5 minutes to do that. So even if you don't finish all parts of the question, when you have 5 minutes remaining, you need to begin the submit process. So your homework tonight. There are 5 things that you can do for the exam on May 18th. You can go to cb.org/AP2020 get ready, try the exam demo, complete the exam day checklist, confirm your email address, locate your e-ticket, and check in 30 minutes before your test time. Okay, so important links here. I've highlighted number 2 because that's the AP 2020 exam demo site, and that's where you can practice with each of the 3 options. Get familiar with the one that you want, and then don't worry about the other 2. Also, look at number 4, the exam day checklist, so that you can get ready and be all set ahead of time so that on test day, all you need to do is show what you know by answering those questions. And in this link, it for AP Bio numbers 9 and 10 do not apply to you. So finally, be sure you tune in tomorrow. We will debrief the 2 questions that you just took in practice exam 2. I will have a very important special guest that you will not want to miss. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow at the same time, the same YouTube channel. Remember that practice makes perfect. So visit that AP 2020 exam demo site at cb.org/AP demo and practice, practice, practice. Thanks for joining us today, and I'll see you tomorrow for the debrief.